Hello there, everyone. It's Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving here in the United States, and I'm coming to you very early for office hours. Typically, we start office hours at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern Time, but I actually have to pack up and start moving today. I'm going back home. So I have to come to you a little early so that I can log off and go actually help out and do things. So I hope you are having an amazing Friday. And if you are in the United States and you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had an amazing day yesterday, overeating and perhaps just being a little bit more thankful for all the things that we have. And if you read your email from the newsletter, you know I appreciate you and I am so thankful for you for being with us on this roller coaster of 2020, because it has been a roller coaster. I don't know if you noticed that, but it has definitely been a roller coaster. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to leverage credibility to get a speaking gig. So this entire month, we've been talking about how to get paid to get a speaking gig, how to negotiate. And this is another part of negotiating for a speaking gig. And that is kind of leveraging what you already have and what you have been doing. So we're going to get a little bit into that. For those of you who are new members, thank you so very much for being here. You know, I appreciate you. And of course, we do these office hours every Friday. I am here to answer any questions, seriously, any questions that you have around speaking, because my job and my goal is to help you just get on stage. I mean, seriously, get on stage. And yes, I owe you quite a few things when it comes to the landscape of speaking gigs right now. I actually do need to go and do a little minor update inside of our iFind You Close thingamabobby here. So let me go ahead and update. But you know, the landscape of speaking is very interesting. And while I am updating this, I am going to waste a little bit of time and tell you about it, because I do owe you what I am seeing and the outlook for 2021 and what we all need to be prepared for. And if you've been watching the office hours, I definitely told you that I am going to do a behind the scenes starting probably in another week or so, a behind the scenes of how I prepare for the following year when it comes to speaking. It's not necessarily pitching, but it's all the things, how I'm going to negotiate, how I'm setting myself up, how I'm presenting my credibility, all of those things. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to leverage your credibility to get speaking gigs. Now, we're going to talk about leveraging credibility in a couple of ways. Now, we've talked about your website. We've talked about all of those different things. And best way to leverage your credibility, especially on your website, is to show the logos of companies or events that you have been a part of. Get the testimonials from those people. And I've told you this so many times, but it is so useful, because all of those different things on your websites, all of those different things in your bio, you don't have to go overboard. And I know some of us may have some issues with, you know, I don't want to sell myself or just be too obnoxious or anything like that. But the reality is you have to show your credibility. And if you have it, you kind of need to flaunt it a little bit so that you can land a few more speaking gigs. So on your website, have those logos of events and companies, conferences that you've participated in. Get those testimonials from people who were in charge of that event. That stuff really does help. And so that's the first part of leveraging your credibility. Same thing on all of your social media profiles, even in your LinkedIn profile. Get those testimonials, you know, show those photos. You want to show the photos of you being in front of an audience and being in front of people. All of these little bits and pieces are just ways to show your credibility. And to be honest, it is kind of leveraging your credibility, because when someone like me goes to your website, I want to be able to quickly see like, oh my gosh, yeah, oh, definitely. They've been on some stages. They're not a newbie. I can definitely trust what they're talking about. So those are some of the things that you really want to pay attention to. Of course, if you have any questions, all you got to do is pop them in the comment box and I will magically answer them. The other way you can leverage your credibility when it comes to getting speaking gigs is you can put that together when it comes to creating a pitch strategy. when you put together your pitch strategy, we will, maybe in January, we'll go over this a little bit. Now, this is what we do one-on-one when we work with people, but it is using these credibility pieces are just parts of your pitch strategy. So instead of saying, sending a 5-paragraph email about why somebody should hire you and like you can send an email and say, oh my gosh, I'm really excited about learning more about your event. And just to let you know, I got this glowing testimonial when I was on front, when I spoke at the Obama administration and things like that, or I spoke at the Women in Science event. So you want to be able, I know it's bad examples, but you want to be able to leverage those types of things. But the thing is, you got to have them. So you have to have them in order to leverage them as a part of a pitch strategy, because the goal is that when you have all these little credibility points, you want to use that instead of sending this email or sending a pitch where it's I the entire time, where all you can say, if it's your third email to an organization, it's like, oh, just, I know you might not be, I know we don't know each other, but I want to let you know I have spoken at similar events or similar organizations of your size. I would love for you, now you can go see my website with that type of stuff. I know, let me put together a better example for you. A better example is that, if you send that email and you could say, I know you're very new to my work, but I have been a part, or I have spoken in front of companies or events that are of your scale. You can check out my video here, send them to your website. You can check out this testimonial I got from the director of NASA here. Or you can, not necessarily the photos, but you want to be able to get them to your website to either see a video, see an interview, or to read that testimonial in the email. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, because I want you to be able to have all these things. So when you are pitching, you just sound impressive. I mean, that's the thing. You want to sound impressive, and you don't want to just get into I all the time. And you definitely don't want your assistant to get into, if you have an assistant that's helping you, you don't want them to get into like, my boss is great, my boss does this. It's the same thing as an I email. So you want to be able to say, I know Diane Lane, I know you may not be familiar with Diane Lane's work, but she has been in front of an organization similar to yours and they love their message. You can go check it out here. That's why you have to have that website ready to go. Okay. So that's why I want you to get all of these things in place so that you can leverage that. For those of you who have a podcast, the same thing, the way you will do this, especially if you're speaking on a particular topic and your podcast aligns with that and you're good on stage. And that's going to be the hard one. If you've never been on stage, you're going to have to make sure people can understand how you've been on, how you can motivate an audience. But, when you are sending an email to someone and say, hey, I know you're in the final process of deciding on your speakers, but I wanted to let you know that I just did an episode that really resonated with a lot of people on this same topic. I would love for you to check it out. So these are all these different ways you can leverage. Now you have to have a pitch strategy in place. Now this is not a one-time deal thing. This may be part of an 8-step pitch strategy to get in front of somebody, but you have to have all these bits and pieces in order to leverage them. And those are the testimonials, the videos, the interviews, the logos, your podcast, anything that you have that could sell you better than you just typing a bunch of words. That's what we want to get in order to leverage. If you're trying to leverage people, you have to be careful when you do it, because I have come across a lot of people who try to name drop and just assume that just because you've name dropped 12 people that I'm supposed to be impressed with you. It works on some people, it really does, but just because you name drop a bunch of celebrities or people that you think I should know, won't necessarily work. And the problem with name dropping is you need to know that the person who you're directing this to knows these people. Because I've had people name drop like five people, and I was like, I have no idea who you're talking about. So just be very careful if you're going to name drop. If you're going to leverage another person to get a gig, you need to get that person to give you an introduction or to send a referral. That is how you do that. Otherwise, it may not go the way you think it'll go, because some people know some folks and it's just like, a friend like, oh my gosh, I met somebody who knows Oprah. I'm like, do they know Oprah, or are they the person who worked down the building, in the same building 3 floors down, and Oprah passed by them and said hi every morning? So we got to be very careful on when we're name dropping and trying to use other people as credibility. So hopefully that works just a little bit too. I'm not going to be here very long because I know we have, it's the day after Thanksgiving here. And I know a lot of people may still be in a food coma, and I don't know, you might be blowing all of your money on Black Friday deals. Hopefully not. But we definitely want to make sure that you have something to think about, because when we do the behind the scenes, and we're putting that together, we're going to do the behind the scenes where you'll just follow along with me of how I get ready. I want you to know that these are all the things that I do when it comes to getting more and more speaking gigs. So with that, I think that's all I have. Of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to upgrade, be a part of us, definitely want you to do that as well. And just letting you know that there is possibly going to be a price increase for new members. For current members, you're going to be fine, but you might want to jump on this pretty soon, because we are going to bring some really cool content for 2021, and I want you to be a part of it. And I think it's going to be of extreme value to you to bring in other people to help talk about how to get you on stage, how to become a better speaker, how to, bringing in some of my friends who are speaker coordinators to talk about how they select speakers. So we're going to do quite a few things, and I really want you to be a part of that. So stay tuned. Okay. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. It will be December by the time we talk again. Ooh, this year has gone fast, and yeah, it's time for me to do a video, and I will be back in the studio. I'll be back in the studio next week. So I'm really excited about that. So take care of yourself, stay healthy, and you know what? I'll see you next month. Bye.